and you walk by, I hit you with sexy eyes. You look through me as if I wasn't right. Oh no, you didn't just walk on through. It's time.
Hey people, welcome to the 2013 Haunted Tents Year in Review. Figured I did kind of a wrap-up recap last year, and some people were interested in it, some weren't. You know, it cuts both ways. But anyway, I wanted to give you a little bit of info on how things went with the haunted tents. We didn't go too terribly bad. Attendance was down this year due to weather. And no, we didn't have any rain. It was cold. It was averaging anywhere from 27 degrees up to about 35 degrees each night. And that kind of kept people away. Opening night we did really good. And Halloween night we did decent. But due to the cold weather, and then we had some wind too most of the nights. Halloween was the only night we really didn't have any wind. We ended up averaging 1,296 people. That's down about 600 people. We did 1,900 last year, and the only thing I can think of is, you know, the cold weather and the wind was keeping them away, and I don't blame them on that one. We did have one rain day, which was our second day we opened, which was the 27th. It rained all day, and then we had gusty winds, you know, 60 up to 80 miles an hour. No damage in the haunt. Everything went good that way. But, you know, 1,296 people. Interesting. As to what worked and what didn't work. Everything, you know, with setting up the haunt and everything, you know, if you watch the setup vlogs, you know, kind of what went through. The one thing I did not have time to get to, and we were we were still setting up on opening day when we opened up at 11 a.m., was using the webcaster gun. I just totally ran out of time. Past that, the only other two areas where we had any problems was the, first off, and most of you that watch the setup vlogs again know, I had trouble with some of the Scubaboo boards. And wanted to take a minute and address the Scubaboo boards, and specifically Scuba Spook 1 and Tyler. Tyler is the one that created the boards. Scuba Spook is the one that does a lot of the marketing for the boards. I wanted to, the both of you, I wanted to say thank you, you know, for those boards. They were neat, great to use. The problems I had, when I originally bought my boards, I bought 6 boards. 2 of which I had Scuba build. The other 4 I built myself. As of opening day on Halloween, I had 3 boards that worked. The 2 that Scuba built and one of the ones that I built. And 3 boards that did not work. I screwed them up royally. So I ended up with 3 displays using the Scuba Spook boards. They worked really, really good. The other 3 I am probably going to mail back off to Scuba and have him look at them. See if he can fix whatever screw up I made on them. And it's probably going to be my last attempt at building boards, at least that complex of boards. For my first time I think I kind of jumped in over my head on them. And it's probably my soldering or something. Knowing me, my soldering ain't all that good. Past the Scubaboo boards and the webcaster gun, the only other thing that we kind of had problems with were the water blasters. And they did work as intended. I did get some nice scares on Halloween from them. You know, they did work good. They are a learning process though. When I made mine, I designed them to operate within 6 inches of the water. My ponds are only generally 6 inches deep. Due to the contour of our front yard, it kind of slopes one way, a little, gradually. You really can't tell by looking at it until you put water on, and then you see the water running downhill. I had one pond where the water blaster was submerged by about 1.5 inches of water. When it went off, it gave a very loud whistling noise, and the water shot up about 4 feet. The other pond, however, with the way it was sloped, was just barely covering the water blaster. And I was getting sounded more like a gurgling and then a farting noise from it, and it really wasn't shooting water out worth a bean. But it was enough to get people's notice. This is a trial and error type thing. And I should say I had the water blaster set for 90 pounds pressure. They're pneumatic, but they had them set for 90 pounds pressure, to get the effects that I did get. Now, like as I started to say, these are kind of a trial and error. It's an easy fix. I need to have those water blasters in deeper water. 6 inches just doesn't cut it. Now, wife and I were talking, and I think next year we are going to increase the depth of the ponds. Simple fix. If you watch my setup videos, I basically do a frame, around the area where I want the ponds, and then line it with plastic to make the frames. I use 2-inch thick by 6-inch wide wood, 2x6s, and then just attach those together, put some stakes in the ground so they don't move around, put the liner in, and they work. I think next year we're going to increase it to using 2x8s or 2x10s. That will make the depth of the ponds go from 6 inches up to either 8 or 10 inches. And those water blasters should put on one hell of a show with that type of depth. So, easy enough fix. But they were noticeable this year, and a lot of people, did catch them. So we had that going on. All in all, it was a good season. The wife and I are just totally exhausted. We still haven't recovered from it. We're still in the middle of trying to get things tore down and put away. It's going to take us probably about another week to get it done. This year's display was way more detailed than it had been in years past. And as a result, it took longer to put everything together, and it's taking a lot longer to get everything taken down. So right now, all the tents are still up in their positions as they were as of Halloween. All the maze wall panels, my partition walls are still up and in place. And I have the cesspool room and the cornhole to get totally torn down. Yet, decorations out of it, and I got started on the photo hall. So I got about 2.5 displays left to get tore down and boxed up before I can start collapsing the walls and the tents. So hopefully starting that either late tomorrow or Wednesday. Feedback from patrons. We had a lot of new people this year. We had a lot of our regulars come by. They've been coming through our haunts for years. And, every year, the young ones, they love it. The older folks, bringing their little ones through, they love it. And usually it's the teenagers, they come through and they're saying, that's not scary, that's not for us. I hear a lot of negative comments from the teenagers, and that's to be expected. We are a family style haunt, not a chainsaw, blood and gut style haunt, designed to scare the crap out of you. So that's to be expected. This year was a bit different. We had a lot of teenagers coming through that love the detail work in the haunt. They were really paying more attention to the details, like the older folks do. And they had fun, so we got a lot of favorable comments from everybody. I don't think I heard any negative stuff, whether it's being not too scary or, what have you. So we did good that way. Now, I also want to touch on vlogging. I know prior to setup, I was hemming and hawing on whether I was going to do a weekly vlog or just a periodic vlog or just totally step away from vlogging. And I've made a decision. I've decided I'm going to take a couple of weeks off from vlogging. I've got finished getting my haunt taken down. I've also got my Christmas stuff I've got to start sorting through and getting up. So I think from this point on until probably about the first part of December when I start my first project for next year, I probably won't be posting anything on YouTube. I'm going to take a couple of weeks off and just let the camera sit and get away from it for a little while. I will be back first part of December when I get started on my first project. Maybe a little bit sooner. It depends on how fast I jump into doing Halloween stuff. Last year I started November 5th. I'm not doing that this year. So we're going to take it a little bit slower this year because 2013 was just a big push. A lot of major props. So don't be too surprised if you don't hear anything from me for a couple of weeks, but keep checking. I'll be back and I'll be out there. Now 2014, right now I have on the plans 3 major, and I mean major props. And then the rest of it's going to be pretty much some maintenance and stuff. I need to go over. I had made some LED candles a couple years back. We haven't used them. I need to go through and redo them. The wiring and the lighting inside. This was before I got into using LEDs. I'm going to convert them over to LEDs. My LED lighting, I need to go through and do some maintenance on them, get them cleaned up. I need to do some chains and torture equipment for my torture room, just to hang around, that sort of thing for small projects. The 3 major props I want to do, though, is one for the witches display. We are considering moving the fireplace out of my witches display and putting it into the gypsy display to kind of give it an update for 2014. That means I'm going to have a big hole in the witches display. And I was thinking about doing a giant bookshelf to go on the back wall and have some animated books in it. Books that, slide in and out or tilt or whatever. So that's going to be one of the major props we're going to attempt this year. The second prop that is on the drawing boards for this year is one that I wanted to do last year and just did not have a time. And it's for my cesspool room. And it's going to be a triple water wheel, or at least a double water wheel, maybe a triple water wheel assembly. That water from the pond will go up, cycle through, and make the water wheels turn. I've got pretty much most of the kinks in my mind worked out on how and what I want to do. So that's going to be another major prop, and it's probably going to be a very long-ass build, excuse the French. The third one is actually 3 displays combined into one. As you know, the last couple of years, I have been doing some foam carved panels. And I've been doing it display by display. The first year before last, I did 42 panels for my photo gallery hall. Last year, I made up about 30 panels for my cesspool room. This year, we are going to tackle 3 areas of the haunt. About 120 panels, 2 foot by 7 foot tall panels this year. Which is basically 60 sheets of 1-inch rigid foam board. So it's probably going to take me about 2 months to 3 months to get all that carved, painted, and detailed. We're going to do definitely 40 panels for the gypsy display, 40 panels for the witches display, and then the third one is either going to go into the torture chamber, or I'm just going to do up some rock style panels to go into some of the hallways, corn hall, chain hall, some of the miscellaneous hallways and stuff I've got in my haunt. maybe go down the outside of the haunt. I'm not sure where the last 40 panels are going to go. But that is actually going to be the first project I will be working on this year. That's something I can do here in the house, because my garage is, once the Christmas stuff goes up, I can't use my shop. All my Christmas stuff is tied into my power going out to my shop. And it's just too much of a hassle to go out every day and convert everything over. So I do a lot of my work in the house November, December. But that is what we're probably going to get started on. I'm probably going to be going down here in probably another week to 2 weeks to pick up foam board. It's going to take me 2 loads to get all the foam board. Past that. So once we get the foam board in and start working on it, you'll see me start vlogging. So give me another 2-3 weeks. Depends on how long it takes me to get all the Halloween stuff down and all the Christmas stuff up. It usually takes about a week to hang the Christmas. So other than that, the only other new thing you will be seeing this year, and it will be with my first vlog I do, for the build on 2014, is there will be a new intro. Every year I change up the music, I change up the slideshow. I don't know how long it's going to be. And I know I've gotten some grumbles about a 45-second intro. I mean, most people just kind of fast forward through it. But first one you might want to watch. So got the music picked out for this year already. And I'm hoping it doesn't cause problems with YouTube. But anyway, there'll be a new intro with the first vlog of the build season. So other than that, I can't really think of anything else to say. Other than good day, goodbye, thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and hello to all my friends, and goodbye to all my friends, and stay spooky out there, people.